Now, it's time to welcome our first spotlight session of the day, the Design Spotlight, to talk about the power of place, designing retail, culture, and the human experience. Let's welcome to the stage the co-founder of Sybarite Architects, Simon Mitchell.
Good afternoon. Oh, good morning, everybody. Actually, it's I only got in at midnight last night, so I'm a little bit jet lagged, but I came in from Shanghai. So it's a pleasure to be here in Bangkok for the Asia Real Estate Summit. I'm Simon Mitchell, co-founder of Sybarite Architects. We're based in London, but we also have an office in Shanghai. We are a design studio that is dedicated to retail, culture, hospitality, and everything that shapes how people feel inside spaces. And today I want to talk about something fundamental to our practice, and that is the power of place, and why, despite all of the noise that you may hear, we believe that experience has never mattered more. So for over 2 decades, Sybarite has been designing spaces all over the world, from London to Beijing to Chengdu to Nanjing to Seoul, and more recently here in Southeast Asia. Whether it's a retail destination, a master plan, a cultural anchor, or even a hospitality environment, our obsession is always the same, which is to design emotion, to design meaning, and most importantly, to design for what makes people come back. So looking back, I've been working in retail for 32 years now. From Comme des Garçons in the mid-90s to Selfridges Birmingham in 2001, to launching Sybarite in 2002, to Ferrari's transformation into a lifestyle ecosystem. And most recently, for the last 13 years, the SKP portfolio, which is now considered one of the world's strongest examples of luxury retail reinvention. Each project has taught me the same truth, that people, they don't remember buildings, they remember how places make them feel. So at Sybarite, we recently completed our Future of Experience report for 25-26. It's a deep dive into the forces that are shaping retail, hospitality, and urban destinations. This report is not a forecast, it's more a lens, a way of understanding why experience has become the currency of modern real estate. And while I'll share the QR code later, for you to download, today I want to bring you the highlights that matter most to me, my team, and more importantly, the people here in this room today, such as developers, investors, operators, and visionaries that are shaping Asia's next decade. So luxury, and by extension, experiential retail estate, we believe it's at a crossroads. Rising costs, shifting demographics, and digital saturation have changed consumers' expectations. But this is not a story about decline. I want to be positive here. This is a moment of reinvention, a moment where Asia, particularly China, Southeast Asia, Korea, and Japan, and increasingly in India, is setting the global agenda for what the next generation of places should be. So when we look back at Le Bon Marché, one of the world's first modern department stores, we see innovation, not nostalgia. And more than 150 years later, it continues to evolve, not because of heritage, but because of cultural relevance. And the lesson here is that great places, they don't repeat the past, they reinterpret it. Today, Gen Z and the millennials, they account for more than 70% of luxury spending globally, and their expectations are radically different. I have a 19-year-old daughter, and I should know, they don't want passive shopping. They want identity, they want interactivity, they want theatre, they want meaning, They want to participate, one of my favorite words in retail, and not just a transactional purpose, because experience is not an accessory. Experience is the product. People have been claiming that retail has been dead for my entire career. Some people said I was mad that I wanted to go into retail architecture. But if you take a time machine and you go back to London, 1973, and Big Bieber, it was a cultural phenomenon in London. And you realize that retail has always thrived when it behaves like entertainment, hospitality, theatre, and community all at once. And the same spirit lives today in destinations such as SKPS that we created in 2019, where retail becomes a cultural ecosystem, not just a store. So retail is not dying, it's just being reborn. And Asia is leading that rebirth. If you look at SKP in Wuhan, which we opened last year, this is no longer just a shopping mall. It's a city-shaping anchor that's influencing the surrounding land value, the visitor flows, and the cultural identity. These destinations are with seriously strong experiential DNA. They are outperforming because they bring tourism, they bring community, and they bring this gravitational pull. This is Deji Plaza in Nanjing, where restrooms, typically the most overlooked architectural space, become immersive, almost cinematic environments. So why am I highlighting toilets, you may ask? Because we believe it demonstrates a mindset that every space counts, every touch point influences perception, dwell time, and return visits. Experience is built from the ground up and not just sprinkled on top. So too often, design is mistaken for this sprinkling, this decoration. And at Sybarite, and I believe across the best of Asia, design is strategy. It shapes desire, builds community, directs behavior. It drives both engagement and revenue. When Ferrari asked us to rethink their retail, we didn't just design a store. We built a narrative of speed, of craft, of performance, and human aspiration. Because good design moves people. And when people move, they spend, they stay, they share, and they return. So what's next for retail, destinations, and experiential real estate? Our research in our report identifies 5 very clear imperatives that will define the next decade. These are not trends, they are structural shifts. So imperative number 1, create and cultivate a sense of place. A strong sense of place is no longer optional. Destinations must be local in their attitude, they must be global in their execution, and they must be memorable with their feeling. SKP Chengdu's master plan shows how landscape, water, sustainability, craftsmanship, and culture can create a place that feels unmistakably Chengdu, yet universally resonant. Imperative number 2 is design for human connection. In an age that is obsessed with digital everything, human connection has become a luxury. Spaces must facilitate this interaction, community zones, co-creation areas, social rituals, shared discoveries, and slower, intimate moments. Honor here in Chengdu shows how a global brand can embed itself into local heritage whilst enabling connection, curiosity, and belonging. Imperative number 3, merge your categories even more boldly. The old category boundaries, retail, F&B, culture, entertainment, they're all dissolving. And look at M-Sphere here in Bangkok. It's an example of how a category blending can create cross-energies, cross-pollination, and more dwell time. So the future is hyper-hybrid, where a development becomes a curated ecosystem and not just a typology. Imperative number 4, make service anticipatory. Service is no longer about reacting, it's about anticipating. Physical service plus digital service plus invisible service, from seamless trial rooms to AI-enhanced personalization. The magic happens when the service just disappears and into the experience. So technology is not the experience. Technology must amplify the experience. And imperative number 5, create moments of wonder. Wonder is a strategy. The Louis LV ship in Shanghai demonstrates how a single architectural gesture can redefine a district, drive global attention, and embrace itself into the cultural psyche. People crave awe, and awe creates memory, and memory creates loyalty. And the best brands evolve. Brands and destinations that are thriving today are the ones that are willing to evolve constantly. Gucci's London studio is an ever-changing, ever-unexpected, and it illustrates a mindset to every developer that places must behave like living organisms. They must be adaptable, they must be expressive and responsive. Static environments belong to the past. So our research in the report has been able to debunk 3 common myths. Myth number 1, that experience equals spectacle. No. Experience equals substance, service, design, culture, and memory. Myth number 2, that experience is just this sprinkling, this add-on. No, experience is the operating system. Myth number 3, that service is secondary. No, service, human, anticipatory, that's relevant, remains one of the strongest differentiators. So to summer here in Beijing, it shows what true experience can look like. It's quiet, it's grounded, it's beautifully crafted, it's emotionally resonant. Experience doesn't have to be fireworks. Experience is meaning. Another myth we dismantled in the research when we talk about that experience can be just simply sprinkled on top towards the end of the development. No, a cafe here or a piece of digital art there. Experience cannot be retrofitted. Experience must be designed in from day one, from the master plan to the circulation, to the programming, and to the service model. It's not a layer. It's the operating system of the entire destination. And developers that understand this, they are the ones that are creating the next generation of cultural and commercial magnets. In the 1800s, Le Bon Marché, they revolutionized retail they abolished haggling and they actually introduced home delivery. So this is a reminder that service has always been innovation. And today, despite all the talk of automation and AI, more than 70% of customers still say that they want human interaction in their physical shopping journey. So service remains the single most important element in differentiation, but it must be anticipatory, it must be warm, it must be instinctive. And when architecture, technology, service all align, all those stars align, you don't just get efficiency, you get emotion. So hyper-hybrid retail for us, is the biggest structural shift that we are seeing globally today. These are not malls, they are not cultural centers, they are not hospitality venues, they are ecosystems, ones that merge retail, culture, food, and well-being. Entertainment, education, technology, community, programming, hyper-hybrid destinations are alive. They shift with the time of day, the seasons, the festivals, or the trends. So they behave more like cultural institutions than commercial buildings. And this is the future of the competitive advantage in real estate today. Editorial, curated, multi-dimensional, and deeply meaningful experiential places. So for decades, success in retail has always, actually I would say for for more than decades, measured by one single thing, sales per square foot. But today, that's completely incomplete. Consumers measure value through time, emotion, loyalty, and community belonging, which is why we've partnered with Savills to conduct a first-of-its-kind analysis of 23 of the world's leading retail destinations and evaluating their design, programming, and experience proposition against their commercial performance. And the results were crystal clear that better experience correlates with better commercial outcomes. So experience is not a cost, it's the driver of ROI. So based on the data, we've introduced a whole new value framework. ROI, obviously, return on investment. ROE, return on experience. ROL, return on loyalty. ROH, return on heritage. And ROC, return on community. So this multi-dimensional model finally captures the true value that a destination can deliver on. Because a place that connects emotionally, serves intuitively, and evolves dynamically generates long-term returns far beyond a spreadsheet. And at the end of today's session, you'll be able to access the full results of the report from the QR code. So this report came to life through lots of contributions from strategists, from researchers, operators, future forecasters across the world. But what matters most is that it remains a living document. It's one that's open to new ideas, new perspectives. The full report is available in Chinese and English with downloadable PDFs, and there's even an audio version because it needs to be accessible to everybody, even left-handed dyslexics like myself. And I invite you all that is shaping the next generation of Asian real estate to explore it, to challenge it, and build upon it, because this is not a conclusion, this is a conversation. So, what is the future of real estate? It's a shift from spaces to places, from transactions to transformations, from buildings to emotionally charged ecosystems. What people buy is always going to change, but what they remember and what they return to is how a place makes them feel. At Sybarite, we design destinations that people fall in love with, places that shape culture, that define cities, and elevate human experience. Thank you and welcome to the future of experience.